Hello everybody. I'm very happy that you arrived today for our Russian tasting. It's the first time when we're tasting Russian beer here at the Fermentis booth, and I'm pretty sure it's not the last one. So my idea now is to present you the brewery and the brewmaster who is here with us. His name is Vasily Ivanovich Medvedev, and then he will help us a little bit with some really practical details about how the beer was made and so on. I would also like to mention that we have a nice distributor. The Braumeister is here, the person who helped Vasily to find this nice yeast at the Russian market. Please, Vasily.
Пиво 14% красный лагер. Варю его с 1998 года.
Right. We started with beer in 1998, and that's the red lager with the 13%.
У меня несколько вариантов рецептур этого пива. Это одна из версий с мюнхенским, с карамельным солодом. И, значит, хмель премиант, жатецкий премиант использован. Ну и молотый имбирь.
All right. So we have the several recipes of this beer. In that case, we use, of course, the yeast is S23, so a soft lager range. And then we also use the Jatets hop for this. And the malt was coming from München.
Премиант, значит, хмель премиант, а солод мюнхенский и карамельный.
So premiant hop and the caramel and the München malt is inside.
С этими дрожжами Fermentis.
Alright, we work only on Fermentis, and this is the only one single strain, S23, which we use at our brewery. And there is something special, the special note, maybe you can feel it right now. Any ideas what could it be?
Sure. Everyone had the beer already? And the hands? Who is missing the beer? Just one here. Just to make sure everyone had the right time on discovering what we have in that beer. To me, please. And the question is, this is a lager beer, like Anastasia, and we could have some explanation about the beer, but there is something in there. And the question is, do you know what is that smell? Because we know lager beers normally are very neutral, giving place more to the hop or more to the malts. But what is there? You agree with me that there is something in the beer? It looks like what? Spicy. There is something spicy on that? Yes or no? And what is that? It's spicy from the yeast? Lager yeast? Spicy? Not really, eh? So, this is a ginger lager. Ginger. And I want now to introduce how we should look to that beer, because it's a very interesting beer. And we want to go past through the beer tasting here to try to find out how we take a picture, a sensory picture of this beer based on some orientation that you are having in your hands. I just want to make sure.
Солодом. Ну, вот это мюнхенским и карамельным.
All right. Some more precise information about the ginger we have inside. So we have a real Indian ginger, make the powder of it, and then put it to the beer. And please let me know if you have any questions concerning the beer recipe or something you want to know, perhaps.
You should warm it a bit, because this beer is multi-profile and it's up too cold for this style of beer. So to taste the flavor of ginger, you should warm it. Because the ginger here is really, really delicate. It's not too intensive, it's just a small note of ginger.
And for me, it's really well integrated to the structure of beer, so you could feel it. But
as you see, Indian ginger gives a lot into the beer, and perhaps if you wouldn't know, say, wow, but this is a lager. It's strange. And this is what we need to look, how the yeast or how the product behind give us some sensations that it can be very tricky in discovering. But I would like to go together with you. This is an exercise of understanding, because as you see, beer taste is a little bit different than beer drinking. We just need a little amount just to have an idea what is the taste and which kind of sensation we get out from this beer. And this is an exercise that I want to do together with you. So for you here, having this beer in your hands, which color you feel comfortable in describing? Color tend to be easier for us. Which color is that beer?
Amber.
Amber. Oh, great. Someone see black or someone see yellow? No, but this we see very fine. But when we are talking about the nose and when we are talking about the mouth, things might change. So indeed, we feel comfortable, very comfortable in understanding this is an amber beer, but I want you to look what is about the turbidity of this beer. The clarity. Brilliant, turbid, somewhere in between? Between? Between. Somewhere in the between? I suppose we have all the same sample. So I see, indeed, there is a slightly turbidity, but not so much. Always remember that sometimes our glass is a little bit, let's say, sweating. So I think it has very, very little turbidity, if you agree with me. But perhaps for a German, it's a high turbidity, yeah? That they love brilliant beers. So see, we have about the foam. We are not in our best time of analyzing the foam. Why? Because we normally should analyze foam immediately when it's poured the beer. When someone served the beer, if you are wanting to talk about beer tasting, analyzing, having a sensory pick of the product, foam, just immediately pour it. After 1 minute, half of the foam, it's collapsed. So let's see, the foam is still there, but supposed to be a nice foam, because when we were poured, we have a very nice and dense foam. It was very interesting. For some of glasses of you, I still can see. Okay, so this is in the appearance, the most important characters we need to give. Be aware, we can go much deeper on that. This is more to understanding which boxes or which line we go for tasting. And as you see here, we go now for odor and aroma. Some of you understand the differences between odor and aroma? Someone can say to me? Some people say that no, but what about the answer? What's the difference? Say. You don't know. So you are not knowing, you are just shy. Okay. For the ones that know, for the ones that don't know, odor, normally we call it depends on the area, or orthonasal sensation. Is the aromas that you are having, the flavors that you are having. Flavor is more global word, and you have, and what you get immediately in your nose is what we call odor. And sometimes we have one impression by feeling the odor, and sometimes you have a second layer, third layer, fourth layer of complexity when you get the aroma. That's when you are sipping the beer, and then you sip it, and after increasing temperature, carbonation, some molecules have more place or more optimal conditions to volatile, and then you have other sensations, and I invite you to do it there. So use these diagrams, because later I want to see the diagrams of you, and we will see the difference even between the two beers. This beer will have a picture and also a comparing with the second one. So in our order here, which are in the fact the most dominant family flavor of this beer? We have family flavors: sulfury, citric, spicy, floral, fruity, hoppy, malty. And if you are not familiar with this family of flavors, I really encourage you to come back to this side of the paper and have a look on that. Okay? And as you see, which one we would put here? Which is the dominant flavor here? And odor and aroma for you? Hoppy? Hoppy? No. Fruity? Fruity? Then we try scoring lower to create our image here. But what do you think about spicy? But because of the ginger. Yeah? A lager to have spicy, it's something else. Because there is an addition. And here we don't have the ginger description, but most of you knew that something spicy, something that brings some spiciness, some attribute that we wouldn't expect into the lager. And you have also slightly maltiness, which means that the ginger took over of the other raw materials. You agree with me? Voila. So we put it here. The spicy, I suppose, is the most. And then we have slightly bitterness, and slightly hoppiness, and slightly fruitiness. This is how we need to look, how we need to take a fast picture of the beer. We can go much deeper, deeper and deeper, but take a picture of this beer. Let it disorganize it in your mind and in your senses. Eyes, appearance, and then your odor, your aroma after you are sipping. And when you are sipping, the second stage is for having the taste sensation. Let's try it now. Because by sipping also you have the aroma, but taste, we are talking about 4. Here at this situation, here we have taste and mouthfeel. Mouthfeel because I put here alcoholic. Alcoholic, it's a kind of mouthfeel, it's not a taste sensation. Taste sensation is 4. Sweet, bitter, sour, and salty. This is taste. The rest is aroma. The rest is mouthfeel. The rest is the rest. So the moment that you have this organized, you can better classify the beer. You can better take a picture of the beer. What about this beer? This is a sweet beer? Sweet? What is the dominant here in that square? How you would put? Bitter? No? It's not bitter, but of course, if you have your background with other beers like IPAs, of course, you will put in a lower scale, okay? But we have, let's say, in the taste point of view, it's not sour, not salty. That salty, it's not here because we know it's less common in the beer. Just time to time we have that for some specific styles. And what about the alcohol of this beer? What is in fact the degree of alcohol of this beer?
So that's 4.7. 4.7.
What is interesting in this beer that you have 4.7 in the taste, but you have the sensation of spiciness that gives some warmness. That's in mind. If you don't know, you say like, "Whoa, it might be alcohol or it might be something else." Yeah, what makes this beer very special? Okay, then you have this sensation, and we are talking about density, body. Body means density. For most of you, you might know. So how low body or how dry is that beer, or how high body or how viscous is this beer? How you would put here in this for the beginning part of the scale? It's not really dense or not really heavy in the body. Eh? We will have eventually the other beers that will show this better. So I agree with you. It's somewhere between medium and low. Yeah. Okay, and the aftertaste, to finalize this beer, the aftertaste in this way, just regarding to the intensity, how the beer stays in your mouth, which does a lot to the beer. If you have beers that persist flavor short time, medium time, let's say, and longer time, we tend to have, for longer flavor tasting, we take sips in a longer ratio, okay? But how is about that? How is the persistence of the flavors of this beer? How? Are you in doubt or are you just shy? There is? What did you say? Long? Takes long. You have the ginger, your mouth is not like mine, very perfumed by the ginger. So which means that the beer is there. We remember the beer in the mouth after talking. I'm here talking and still the beer is there after so many times. I agree with you. So this is a kind of a picture of this very interesting beer. Very happy to have the chance to taste it with you. And of course here it's to do with your sensation, your personal impression about the product. You might love ginger, you might don't like the ginger, but beer tasting you should put your feelings away, take a picture, and later if you want to buy this beer, it's your option. But you need to be able to see in a more neutral way, okay? So I hope you enjoy this tasting, and I would, if